Coast Studios in Oklahoma City. You're watching The Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell, and we are brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. Go online anytime and order your pizza at papajohns.com. Time for Inbox. We take your email questions and answer them here on video. Let's get started with a question from Mark. Mark said, why move Cale Gundy away from coaching running backs at Oklahoma? This is the best group of running backs the Sooners have had in a long time.
Well, I think it's a simple question of mathematics. Cale Gundy has done a great job of recruiting and developing running backs. You know, actually the running backs have shown up largely ready to play, so he's recruited fabulously. But this new OU offense is going to put 4 receivers on the field and 1 tailback. Bob Stoops is sitting there thinking, I need 4 receivers and 1 tailback at one time, and currently on campus I got about 4 good tailbacks and 1 good receiver. What's wrong with this picture? Let's take the guy that's recruited all these running backs, let's go have him recruit us a bunch of receivers. So, I mean, I don't think it's any more complicated than that. From a personal standpoint for Cale Gundy's career, I think it's a good move. It gets him more involved with the schematics of the offense. You don't see a lot of running back coaches involved in game planning and that kind of thing. Receiver coaches, yes, more so than running back coaches. I think this gets Cale Gundy more involved in the game planning and the schematics of the offense.
Yeah, no, I think this should not be seen as any sort of demotion by any stretch of the imagination. This is all about Cale Gundy and what he's done well, getting him this opportunity, and really a needed, like you say, a spot where Oklahoma needs a ton of help, both on the recruiting trail and in the development of things. And remember, Cale Gundy was a college quarterback, so it's not like he, was a running back who came in and automatically knew everything about playing running back. He's had to grow into that, so it's relatively easy to think that he'll step out there, know a decent amount about receivers, learn as he goes, and continue to teach those guys. I think this is a really good move by Bob Stoops to try to infuse, one of the best assistants that they have on that staff into an area of definite need. All right, back to the inbox from Tim. Tim says, I'm an OSU basketball fan. I wanted a coaching change after losing at home to OU earlier this year. Now on this run, they could win out and finish in a tie for second. I still think Travis Ford can't get them to the level that Eddie Sutton did, but I don't know if OSU could get someone better.
Well, here's the thing about OSU basketball in the broad sense. I don't think anybody's ever getting OSU basketball to the level Eddie Sutton did. So if you're shooting for the next Eddie Sutton, you might change your aim. But Travis Ford has had to change minds. He's changed my mind. He's changed a lot of critics' minds. This is a guy that went into the season. You wondered why he, if he would last the season, if he would be fired at the end of the year because of that contract. Now you wonder if he needs a contract extension. He's coaching his butt off. I mean, they went to Baylor and won. They went to Texas and won. It's clear that they don't have the talent widespread that those two teams. They beat Kansas at home. The talent disparity is massive there. So Ford's doing a good job. This Cowboy team has sort of rejuvenated Cowboy basketball crowds and interests. So hats off to Travis Ford. I think right now he's clearly the Big 12 Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and I thought he did a decent job last year coaching. I know people disagree with me on that because of the talent they had, but because of all the stuff that fell in his lap as the season went on, Marcus Smart sort of, doing some stuff that was really out of the ordinary. Obviously the suspensions. They get to the NCAA tournament, which I thought, considering the way that season went, was frankly pretty impressive. But obviously you lose 2 guys that are NBA players off your team, and you're better this year? I mean, I was talking to John Helsley about this when we went to Stillwater on Saturday for the Kansas game, and that was before they beat Kansas and Baylor on the road. And John said you talk to coaches in other sports around OSU, like he has from time to time over the last few weeks, and they are just awestruck at the coaching job that Travis Ford's done. Inbox from Paul, he says, how does the Thunder get Dion Waiters to stop shooting? Moving the ball, driving the lane, and defending ought to be his core activities.
Well, Paul asked a legitimate question, and I've got a serious answer. Take him out of the game. He gets in those zones where he gets the ball, and if I'm at the game, I tell AC Slater,
it's going up.
It's going up. I tell if it's a road game watching on TV with Trish Dish, I say he's not passing, he's shooting. When he gets in one of those zones, I just take him out. If he's got, now if he wants to take good shots or drive to the basket, but those step back 21-footers where the ball doesn't leave his hands after about 8 seconds, just take him out of the game, and guess what? That's what players understand. They understand minutes. I'd take him out of the game.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only thing that would solve it. And obviously there are some things about Dion Waiters that we're finding out that we maybe didn't know before. Like he's better on the defensive end than I think you and I both thought, and maybe a lot of Thunder fans thought when they traded for him. But one thing that's true to form, he likes to shoot. We have not seen that change in a Thunder uniform. So if you're looking for that to change about Dion Waiters, might be waiting a while. All right, last to the inbox from Keith. Keith says, do you ever hear any talk in Norman about tearing down the Lloyd Noble Center and building a new basketball arena?
Well, I've never heard any talk about tearing down the Lloyd Noble Center because it's a very functional building, very valuable building, independent of basketball. So they're not tearing down the Lloyd Noble Center. As far as building a new arena, I have heard talk about it, but it never gets any very far for this reason. It's just not necessary because it's not going to make a difference. Fans are not staying away from OU basketball because of the arena. They're staying away from basketball because they just don't care, and frankly, that's a national thing. College basketball attendance nationally is down, and the interest level is not great, especially at a football school. And the truth of the matter is, all kinds of places have become football schools and have hurt the basketball attendance. So this is not an OU problem. It's a college basketball as a sport problem. You don't build a new arena hoping people will get excited and come, because they will get excited and come for about 2 months, and then you got a $200 million building that is not drawing fans any more than the old building. So Lloyd Noble has a lot of positives, and it's got some negatives. It does not create the greatest basketball environment, but when the Sooners are going well, like Monday night against Iowa State, it still can percolate and pop and be a good place to play. So I think Lloyd Noble Center is here for the near future.
Yeah, I would say, what I'd always heard with if they were going to build a new basketball arena, it would sort of be like a mirror image, Barry, where you've got the arena right now and the practice facilities at Lloyd Noble Center. And if they were going to build something new, they'd essentially build it on the other side of the practice facilities that have been built, because there's some land there on the south side of those practice facilities. But I'll tell you, sort of along the same lines, you said the building's not keeping fans away. I also don't think it's keeping players away, recruits away. With those new practice facilities, the locker rooms, the training rooms, the coaches' offices, the gyms that they have to practice in, to me, that's probably as good as just about anywhere in the country. So as far as the player amenities and those sorts of things, I don't think that they're necessarily, the arena is not, it's not going to be Kansas. It's not going to be Kentucky. It's not going to be Poly Pavilion. I mean, it's not those things, but a new place wouldn't be either. And so I think at this point, it's probably good to keep it as is. And if you're going to spend money on facilities for athletics, probably spend those dollars elsewhere. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the OK.